Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the LOBE podcast, starring your guests from LOBE, Leroy and Rydog.
What's up, guys?
Well, we had a crazy ass week. Uh, Seemed about proper the first week. We had some really close ones. I think what we're mostly going to talk about today, though,
Hello.
is hello. Isaac has joined us.
Hey, I can't. I mean, I can kind of talk, but I'm in a party with my brother and on Xbox, so
Okay, well that's good. I am
he's taking right
in a
now, so I can
group
talk for a little bit.
playing Civ 6 at the moment, trying to create a map and trying to
Hold
get
up.
this thing
Oh,
going here.
okay.
But
Yeah, I'll be in here.
we're chatting. We just started.
Had a wonderful Saturday. Fucking smoked some pork loin and a steak, and man, it was good. Had a
Mm,
wonderful Saturday.
sounds amazing.
Oh God, it was.
Sounds like a delicious treat to me. Hmm.
Butter knife cut through that meat. That's all it took. Oh.
Speaking of
So,
butter
is
cutting
Ryan?
through
Yeah. So
knives,
Ryan, are you ready to watch the Colts lose tomorrow?
that's probably what's gonna happen. That's for sure.
I am ready. My body is ready for disappointment and sadness.
Did you really put
It's
money on the Jags on
oh,
3? Did
it's gonna happen.
you put money on it?
Yeah,
Oh my god. Bet
but I put
against your
money on the
own
Colts
team.
losing tomorrow.
Shit.
Hey, at least he's not a
It's
homer.
it's it's
Guess
it's
he's
just
being
kind of
honest with himself, yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. After Pippen got hurt, that's when I put money on him.
We'll see. Maybe we can run the ball, but I'm not too
Yeah.
optimistic. Hey, is your screen share on yet, Cruz?
Oh, I started recording my screen, but I haven't done it on Discord. Hang on one second. All right.
There we go.
Leroy, I sent you an invite on Civ 6.
Let's get into this, guys.
All right. So, in the podcast outline, we have set for week 1 matchups and matchups of the week. That's what we're mostly going to focus on today. We'll probably dabble into other topics of the week, whatever our weekly reactions have been. Maybe a quick trash talk session, and we'll call it a night, fellers. But
All right.
let's get her going. So
Week 2. What
week
game we want to start
2.
with?
Let's start with me, of course, because that's where we're gonna start.
That's where we always start. We gotta start with Cruz.
All right, so I'm facing Corey this weekend. Corn Dog
How you
TV.
feel about that?
He's solid. I mean, the depth. I wish he had somebody already pull a hammy or something, but that's not the case. He's pretty healthy already in week 2. Fournette, Cook, Evans, Lockett, Ingram, Gibson. I mean, all these guys kind of make me a little nervous. Besides Gibson, and Gibson can make me nervous. He put up 16 points last week. As much as I don't want to give
Definitely.
Washington any credit, they're putting out good points. Didn't they get a win last week? They got a win against Jacksonville. Washington is still putting up points. Look at that. Carson Wentz. Actually, Carson Wentz was number 2 quarterback.
That's why I picked Carson Wentz up. In my when Dak got injured, I picked Wentz up because I'm like, I still know he can make plays, but is he gonna make the stupid boneheaded decisions like he always did? But he can still make plays on his feet, and that's what makes him valuable still.
And That offense has been kind of.
They got a pretty good offense over there. I mean, with Terry McLaurin and
Yeah,
what am I
it's like I
blanking?
wanted to say boom or bust. I feel like is what they are,
Yeah,
and it's like you said that some of that talent there is like, man, we can hit home runs all day if done right. Like they got some really talented players. That McLaurin is fast as hell.
he's something else. It's a good thing that Washington had signed him to that huge deal, because he is their playmaker over there.
Yeah, so I mean, my matchup looks pretty good. I This is a good matchup.
Honestly, it looks even better too if Mike Evans doesn't suit up. If Mike Evans is out tomorrow, your matchup looks better.
Like I should be able
Definitely.
to
When I
win
look
that
at
one.
Corey's team for this week, even for other weeks, his team's got a lot of touchdown potential.
Yeah,
So run touchdowns in. Fournette's getting goal line touchdown. Cooks can break touchdowns. Evans red zone touchdowns. Uh, Gibson's gonna get goal line. Like you got a lot of touchdown potential over here.
Lockett's gonna be that, kind of iffy if Geno Smith plays somewhat decent.
That's probably his
Lockett,
weakest spot he has
yeah,
is Lockett.
it is.
Hey, Taysom Hill, that's a pretty interesting.
That's an interesting start.
I want to
Taysom
see.
Hill, damn.
I want to see more of this guy, dude. Taysom Hill. Let's go to the full box score real quick of last week. Can I do that? No, I can't. Okay, let's go to my team and go to stats.
Yeah, last week he had 81
One.
rush yards. That's impressive.
Yeah,
But I
81.
think he only had 4 total carries or 4 total touches though.
Hey man,
He
Yeah,
broke
I don't
one
know.
off.
if he can get a tight end that gets work as a running back, quarterback, and a tight end,
Yeah.
hey, he's touching the ball. That's
So
what
if
counts.
he,
Hey, that's
so
like the
like if
perfect player for you. You really like those get lucky players.
I do.
yeah.
I like when they can put up 25 points, have a crazy
So
ass
if he would
ceiling.
if he would throw a touchdown as a tight end, would that still count as like
Yeah,
quarterback?
they give him the passing yards in the touchdown
Yeah.
in our league. Yeah, for sure. Yep. That because you see offensive players get tackles all the time, and you'll get a point if an offensive player went out and got a tackle.
Okay.
If your quarterback throws a pick and gets that -2, but then makes the tackle, it's really only -1.
Yeah. It all cancels. Yeah.
Yeah, so
But yeah.
the
And
matchup looks
that.
pretty good. I feel
Yeah.
like
I mean,
my
it
weakness
looks
is wide
bad.
receivers.
It
That's
looks
his
bad
weakness.
because of the projections. But Kareem Hunt's gonna get more than 7 points. Like, there's no way he doesn't score more than 7 points.
Yeah, Kareem Hunt's gonna be a monster.
I think Zeke's gonna have a terrible day though against Cincinnati with no Dak.
He's gonna get more touches because of no Dak.
I don't know he's gonna do any better with Cincinnati though. That's a mean defensive line.
They're gonna have to run Pollard.
I think where I win this though, where I take this game, is my defensive players.
I don't know
think
much
that's
about
what
your
comes
defensive
down.
lineman. Yeah, you got a lot of tackles sitting over here.
Yeah, those guys know
Yeah.
how to get tackles for sure. Brooks.
He's
and
he's
tight
playing
end.
double DBs now. One of the DBs is um, uh, Mr. Smith down there, Harrison. He could probably get a pick six easily on Monday night to win it for him. Definitely can happen.
I could see that. So that's a good one. That's a good matchup. Let's go to Ben and Doug. Doug took a quick lead on this one, quite a bit here. But he,
Did you say a queef lead?
oh
Was that queef
yes, he
lead?
did. That's what Doug would be releasing right now. Downwind from Ben too.
Woo! Queefing on Ben. Poof.
Poof. So he had Herbert and Kelsey. I mean, it's pretty much how you take a quick lead like that. Bosa played, only got him 4.5 points. When you're naming your team after the guy, you're hoping more points than that. But
Yeah, but you get those up and downs though with those defensive linemen
oh, certainly,
for sure.
certainly. That seems to be a floor for Bosa though.
Yeah, that's not. He's not helping you win, but he's definitely not completely losing with
So
5 points.
let's look at this. Carr and Herbert. Can Carr put up 29 points?
No, but maybe. Arizona's got a terrible secondary. I don't think they're gonna need to. Let's see though.
So Penny versus Chubb. I think Chubb takes that.
Man, Ben's
I don't
totally
know.
got the running backs. Sure.
What were you saying, Leroy?
I mean, I think Penny will put up points, but yeah, I don't know if he's gonna compete with Chubb.
Yeah, Chubb's definitely
I could definitely see Daryl Henderson outperforming Najee Harris.
He's
Yeah,
not just gonna get his touches
Easily.
limited.
Yeah.
I think they actually get up on this one in LA, and they're actually able to run.
Yeah, I got reverb from you somewhere.
I think Leroy's mic is
Mm,
kind of close.
powerhouse.
I kind of said that a little loud. Yeah, I think if LA gets up, then they'll run the ball a little bit more than they did last week. I'm hoping Cam Akers gets something. Otherwise, that's
AJ
looking
Brown
like such a
definitely
bad
beats
pick.
Michael Thomas. Wait, is he playing a rookie wide receiver?
I don't know that if Ben's team has enough firepower to get over this. To get over what Doug's already put up. He has good players, but
That
I feel
fire.
like his only fire players he has is like AJ Brown and maybe if Nick Chubb has a game, one of his 2 touchdown games.
Who's this Doomer? Nay. Duvernay.
Baltimore's second receiver. That'd be the third target for Lamar because he usually goes Mark Andrews,
Right.
and then to
This,
Pittman.
this seemed like a decent play to you guys. Oh.
Had Keenan Allen get hurt on him, so he got bit by the
Oh.
injury bug. His
And
other options
Gallup
were
and Hillard.
Gallup's out, so he could play Elijah Moore. Could try to play Pierce again, which didn't work last week. I don't think it's going to work against Denver. So yeah, he was probably between Elijah Moore and Duvernay, and Duvernay had a good week last week.
Dude, Ben is hurting on already from
Yeah,
the injury bug.
losing Keenan
Oh, yeah.
Allen, not good for him.
Shit.
It hurts.
Okay, so we
I
figured
love
out
Let me get this one.
is Mike Williams. Oh, he gets so many touches now.
the champs is having a rough fucking start over here.
Yeah. He's probably gonna go 0-2. I think he's gonna go 0-2.
Champ has not arrived.
All right, let's move on to the
Still
next
in a
one.
coma. It looks like Taxman's coming out with this one. Good luck.
Pretty
to them.
easily. Pretty easily to the tax man.
Tom
Go
versus
next.
Derek.
Go.
Tom took a little bit of a lead here. It was Everett, and it looks like
Pretty good.
Sherman is going to be out.
Roman for
So
10.
Derek might need to worry about that. Lance versus Wilson. Actually, this sounds like a pretty good matchup. Trey Lance didn't look that good last week.
Yeah, well, it was that Chicago game where the field was flooded and
Oh,
throw. Everyone was slipping everywhere.
oh
Really
yeah.
wouldn't count that too much against him.
I didn't watch any of that game.
But we'll get to see him a
Think
little
about
better.
Russell.
I feel like Russell's gonna bounce back. That Seattle loss probably outperform Lance.
I mean, Wilson has some good weapons over there, so I think he just needs to get chemistry down, and he's gonna start lighting it up here eventually.
I mean, I don't think he really was at training camp, right? As he was still recovering.
Yeah.
Take a little more time, let the chemistry develop. They'll get the hang of it.
So Kamara only got 6 points last week. And he's
Yeah,
listed
but
as questionable with some ribs.
yeah, that's a little sketchy. Playing Jeff Wilson too. It's,
Oh my.
that's one of your favorites.
Uh, Derek's gonna have a little rough of a week. It's looking like.
The running back for sure. I firmly believe Tom's got the advantage at running back
Uh,
for sure. He's got Taylor. He's got Connor. Those are 2 touchdown
Tyreek
machines.
Tyreek Hill might go off. Baltimore is
Sus.
down.
Derek at wide receiver is pretty nasty. Justin Jefferson and Tyreek Hill.
I mean,
Nutty.
Baltimore is missing their top 4 cornerbacks.
Jesus.
Yeah, all 4 are injured. So I could see Miami lighting Baltimore up.
Guys, I really see Derek losing this one to Tom. But if he wins, it's Jefferson and Hills like
Yeah,
carrying him.
yeah, sure.
Definitely
All right.
believe that.
So let's move on to the next one real quick. Jimmy and Ryan. Roger.
Oh yeah.
All right. Lamar versus Allen. Pretty good matchup usually, but I'm pretty sus this year on Lamar already.
He's gonna have a terrible game against Miami. That defense is gonna blitz the shit out of him.
Yeah.
It's a tough defense.
And then, unless he runs all over them, I don't know.
See, if he has a good game, it'll be like big plays that get past those blitzing linebackers and stuff. We'll see. I definitely think Allen's gonna have a great game on Monday night. Need to be up in some points big time this week. Come off of Sunday. His Eckler only got 13, so it makes me feel pretty good.
Yeah,
I don't
Harris
have to
could
worry
get
about
that.
too much. Yeah. I feel like he's got the majority of the work over there. Playing Pittsburgh, so that's a little rough.
Yeah.
But they're missing TJ Watt, so that helps with that situation. If the Bills are doing really good against Tennessee, I at least have the Bills running back, and I have Stephon Diggs. Hopefully mitigate some of Allen's points he's probably going to put up on Monday. That does help me out. But he also has Gabe Davis, so if he decides to throw to Gabe Davis, I'm going to get stacked on. That's scary. Rid of Michael Carter. Very much. Just because I'm not really scared of the Jets. But he really does have a pretty good team because St. Brown's no joke.
Mm-hmm.
Mark Andrews is no joke, and Miles Sanders is a fine flex play that'll get you there.
Yeah, he's got a solid team, but your team is
Starters.
ridiculous.
My team's also hurt right now.
I think you walk away with this one.
Yeah, losing my.
I lost 3 starters this past week. I lost Pittman the week. I lost TJ Watt, who I drafted early, and I lost Elijah Mitchell. I lost 3 starters in week 1. So
I still feel like you're solid here. The only you are a week in maybe Sutton.
yeah, I mean
The rest of your team's solid as fuck.
Sutton could go off though. I'm not. That's the reason why I drafted him. I had injuries to my receivers. I still had a good option to
Singletary
put
only
in
got
there.
7 last week. This is a tough backfield to own. Josh Allen owns that backfield.
And they split work with Singletary and Moss right now.
That's a tough one. Well, boys, I have running backs available. Hit me up. Anyone listening to this? Hit me up. I got running backs. All right. It looks good. I think you got this, Ryan. But Miles Sanders could put up a big boy game.
It just depends if Josh Allen has a monster game again. Like who he
I got to
needs.
get up some points. He's got a lot of Monday night players.
Yeah.
And that Bills defense, I think that might be the thing that gets you over the top.
I don't know. I feel gross about this whole thing because I look over here and I got to go, hey, go Tennessee. Yay. Not
Fucking
really. Like, go enough to lose by one.
as a Colts fan,
Shit.
they have to win tomorrow, and the Titans have to lose tomorrow. That's
No, so I'm like, the Titans need to lose, but I need Josh Allen not to torch him.
I think Josh Allen is going to torch them though.
I know.
If Daniel
The defense
Jones is
so
capable of
fucking bad.
it, imagine what
Defense
Josh
is so
Allen's going
bad
to do.
after week one. It looks really bad.
I mean, Daniel Jones isn't playing that good.
Come on, Vrabel, coach him up. Make this a 6-7 score. Yeah.
Oh,
Jimmy's
God.
no slouch, though, yeah. Jimmy's got a solid-ass team.
We'll see how it plays out tomorrow.
Yeah,
we got
Ryan,
one more matchup.
when you have Diggs and Michael Pittman healthy and together, that's dangerous. Like that's
Chase too. You got don't
Man, you
forget
guys
about
put a
Andrew.
lot on this
That's.
Pittman guy.
I mean, you don't even have to have a running back at flex.
I haven't
You've
watched
got
So that was
three
my whole
wide
strategy.
receivers that can legitimately score you 20+ points like every week.
I haven't
That's
watched this
good.
Pittman play. You guys are pretty high on him.
Oh, week one, he had what was his line again? Over 100, 2 touchdowns, something like that.
Let's
Yeah,
pull this guy up.
121
real quick.
yards, touchdown. I mean,
One and a touchdown. Yeah.
the guy played insane and played how we expected him to. So
I expect him to have a Julio-esque season. Expectations.
Last year, he impressed me quite a bit.
The legs, I should say.
Fortunate he has his little
The legs, I
quad
should
going
say,
on
of
right
Jonathan
now.
Taylor. 7 carries, 63 yards.
Will they fake it to him this time? They've got.
I hope it's not torn. I hope we're not just getting misled because if it's a torn quad, he could be out for.
Well, I'm pretty sure he was having this problem in training camp and they were taking it easy on him, and this is a flare-up. I
Yeah.
think.
This might be a precautionary sit more than he can't. I mean, if it were week 17, he'd be going right now. Like, there's no doubt. Like, he would be going. I think this is just, let's just kind of ease into it. But if it were week 17, this guy's, I mean, Michael Pittman, he's 100% playing. But
He looks pretty good. I'm watching him
fucking sucks
do this
for a cursed franchise.
play. About to watch him do a 28-yard gain right here. A nice little wheel route, or not wheel, but Jesus. Deep.
Well, he
cross
can
or
get up
something.
there and contest balls, kind of like what Mike Williams can kind of do. But you know, Mike Williams is he's different. But I mean, Michael Pittman's not there, but he can contest balls like going up. I mean, vertically. But
Yeah, I
That's
think
what-
that's
that's
pretty
what makes
good
it different.
comparison.
that's what makes him a little bit different. But he's not Mike Williams level, but he's close to that.
All right, fellas, we got a couple more matchups to get through here.
Kirk and Jason. All right, boys.
Jason, let's see what we got here. This one looks like it's going to be pretty close
Yeah, Burrow versus Mahomes.
out the whole thing.
Mahomes didn't go completely off. He only had
Yep.
20
Burrow
points.
can totally get 20 points,
Easy.
if not more, against Dallas.
McCaffrey versus
I
Henry.
think that's pretty easy. That's just monster versus monster. Okay.
Swift versus Montgomery.
Monster Light versus Monster Light. Swift's a little banged up though. He might get limited touches.
Swift.
Then
is a
again,
monster.
Montgomery has a terrible matchup at Green Bay when Chicago never beats Green Bay.
Oh, Chicago's gonna run through him this time.
Okay.
DJ Moore might have a huge game with the Giants. I think
DJ Moore versus DK Metcalf is pretty even too, but yeah, there's definitely that potential.
I mean,
love
because
this McLaurin.
he is. I mean, he didn't have a very good week last week. Yeah, last week, but he's going to be Baker Mayfield's favorite target, other than Robbie Anderson. But DJ Moore is the number one receiver there in Carolina.
Sure.
Like, he could have a big game against the Giants.
Did someone pick up Robbie Anderson in our league?
Don't think so. I feel like Robbie's the Odell Beckham, from the Browns, and DJ Moore is going to be your Jarvis Landry.
Yeah.
Schultz versus Hawkinson, pretty close right there.
Yeah. I mean, probably TJ because Dallas lost Dak, so passing volume's not going to be as much.
Yeah. This Jay Williams. Who's this guy? Oh, Denver's.
Devontae Williams?
Devontae.
That's
He's
the number
splitting
one.
carries with Melvin Gordon.
It wasn't a true split. Actually, Javonte had 12 targets in the passing game. I think Melvin Gordon only had 2 total in that game. So the carries were pretty close, but when it came down to it, throw the ball, then on third downs, it was Javonte out there. So
Whoa.
he has more potentials.
Caught 11 of 12.
Yeah.
What the heck? Numbers
Exactly.
definitely fucking came down because of that fumble.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Didn't have the most productive day, but his opportunities were sky high. Brighter days are ahead for him. And Kirk over here has got double bears against Green Bay, which, in my opinion, would not feel good.
Yeah, dude.
Wouldn't feel good about that.
This D Moon, he only got one pass of. He only caught one pass of 3 targets last week.
They were in a monsoon, though.
Yeah, that's true. I gotta give him that. All right.
I mean, do you really want to put faith in the Bears' offense to go into Green Bay, into Lambeau, and put up enough points to support their running back and their receiver?
What do we think about defenses here? Who's got the better defense package here? He's got D White on the left over here.
Yeah, that's tackle machine. Now, Kirk dodged a bullet that Mac didn't have an annihilation game. So, because he's capable of that, so that's good. I really don't know much about Kirk's defensive unit as far as fantasy goes. It's just kind of not
I don't see the.
Not your top namers. I'm sure they can put up points because a lot of players can, but definitely not a Devin White.
Yeah, just not knowing the names here. I feel like Thielen good, in my opinion, will take this game. We'll see. Isaac and Leroy. All right, 2 people in the chat. This is great. Saving for last. This is proper. Wentz and Murray. Right off the gate.
I say it to these two. Let them argue it out.
I can't believe. Okay, I can't believe.
Isaac,
that
why is
my
Wentz better
starting-
than Kyler Murray?
I can't believe that my starting quarterback in week fucking 2 is Carson Wentz. I
And
can't
how much
believe
better
it,
is he than Kyler Murray?
But here we are because Wentz was always so interesting because when he's with Indy, I know you don't like him, Ryan, but he does make plays, and he does get the ball where it needs to be when he's not a fucking idiot.
He does fuck it all up at the end. Yeah.
He
does
can,
give it a
but
lot
he
of-
didn't. But he won them that game last week against Jacksonville,
Yeah.
against a really
He also-
stout Jacksonville defense. He won that game for them,
Yeah.
and
I
that's
would say a
pretty damn
questionable
impressive.
Jacksonville
lost it.
defense.
I mean, he threw 2 picks.
He did.
I'm going to be
the
totally
one-
honest with you guys. My perception of that game was, wow, Washington is barely good enough to
Because
beat a
it was
really, really
just
bad
like-
Jacksonville team.
Yeah, it was just like the Indy
Cool.
experience with Carson Wentz. He looked like an all-pro, like amazing quarterback. Then he fucking had that stupid interception, like during a cutaway. I'm like, well, there's the Carson Wentz we all know, but he still won the
and
game.
in my
for you.
opinion, he was playing a JV squad in the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah.
I mean,
Maybe
very
it was
good.
an inspired defense, but he still is such a bipolar quarterback where he can. I mean, he's not even like Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins is like I hate to call Kirk Cousins elite, but he's not on Kirk Cousins level.
He's Ryan
Above
Fitzpatrick.
average.
He's Ryan
Yeah.
Fitzpatrick, but he's like
Yeah.
he's like a neutered version.
Yeah. But I can't believe but he's the best
All
option that I
dumb
have.
neutered version.
He is the best option that I have because I just dropped fucking Dak Prescott for Robbie Anderson when I learned that Robbie Anderson hadn't been picked up yet.
I know. I wanted Robbie Anderson, but
So
I
I
had no
went and
room.
scooped him up while we were talking about this.
I know. I wish I wouldn't have said anything. God damn it,
Good job, Cruz.
you bastard.
Anyway, we can get off the Wentz. We can get off the Wentz topic.
Okay, yes. Let's get
So,
off
so do you think Wentz is better than Kyler Murray?
this week.
No.
It depends.
No.
Week to week, it depends.
This week against Leroy.
He's
Definitely
from
not.
Las Vegas. Kyler's playing against pretty good corners, so
Must side with Leroy on this and say definitely not.
But yeah, no, but I will say this week, Kyler will probably have a bounce back game. He'll probably get 30 points, I bet.
I mean, it is Wentz at Detroit.
I feel like Kyler Murray and Derek Carr are just going to be lighting it up all game.
Well, and Kyler lost Rondale. Rondale Moore isn't playing. He's playing. Dude, Kyler is playing with scraps right now. Like, no DeAndre Hopkins, no Rondale Moore. Is AJ Green playing? Yeah, AJ Green's playing, but he's kind of washed. But it just I don't know. We'll see. It'll be interesting. That quarterback.
I love how you're slowly talking yourself into the fact that Carson might be better.
He is. I mean, I
I slowly grinding you. I can
mean,
see it actually now. That
I don't know, man. It's weird because week one on the eye test, Kyler just didn't look like he was that. I thought last week was going to be a back and forth game. With
I don't think this week's double XP on Call of Duty. He'll be fine.
It is the beta though, so it is the beta this weekend. So
Leroy, what do you think about Aaron Jones versus Joe Mixon?
I think Aaron Jones is going to have a rough time against Chicago's defense.
Yep.
I do think Aaron Rodgers is going to try to throw him the ball quite a bit. But I don't know. This Green Bay offense is questionable right now.
Well,
it's weak.
I got questions for sure. I mean, how do you run the ball only 5 times with Aaron Jones, who got 50 yards?
Yeah, I'm
On
not
those
really
5
sure
carries.
what's going on.
I think the head coach did come out and say we need to get him the ball more.
I
after
hope.
that game.
Damn.
That's always a weird thing for a head coach to say, like, hey, dude,
Yeah.
you can make that decision. You know that, right?
It's like, dude, yeah, that's...
That's why, like, I don't know if the analytical department. That's why I don't like analytics in the NFL a whole lot because they kind of fail teams because they're like, oh well, if we pass it more, you know, each game is different. You know, week to week, you know, each game is different. You know, and
yeah, it might be time to week 1 you want to run, week 2 you want to pass.
Yeah, I don't know. And I don't know if it is the analytic department, but it very well could have been. Because you do have Aaron Rodgers as your quarterback, but he didn't play for shit. You'd think that you would game plan in game, say, well, it's not working, let's run it. It's
Right.
kind of weird.
And then I think Mixon could have a big day.
Dude, too. I think Cincinnati could get above Dallas. They could just ride Mixon for 20 carries
27 carries last
and
game.
go home.
Caught 7 passes on 9 targets. 27 carries, 9 targets. Incredible.
Yep.
30, basically. 30 what? 36? 36 total opportunities.
Gotta be up there.
A lot of Joe. What worries me about Joe Mixon is a lot of his yardage came from that huge breakoff. If he didn't have that huge breakoff run last week, it worries me with the running back. Like passing is fine, like the receiving, but I would much rather see a running back that is established with the run game, not with the pass game.
I think that Joe Mixon still has the same problem he's kind of always had. That Cincinnati offensive line isn't the best.
No.
Mm-hmm.
And they were playing against Pittsburgh, who has probably the best front seven. They were getting demolished all game. I mean, you can go see Burrow's bad sack numbers
They
and
were
turnovers.
really going after Burrow. He looked,
Oh man, and Joe Mixon. Like Joe Mixon had no room to run whatsoever, and like you said, he had that one play that really saved his day. But he should have a lot more success against Dallas. I don't think Dallas's front's that scary. What about Parsons?
Yeah, Parsons. He might. He'll be interrupting, but he's more of a pass.
I
Yeah,
agree.
he's not more of a run defender, pass defender.
I think we all kind of agree. Mixon probably going to beat Aaron Jones
Mm-hmm.
in numbers.
Let's
on the
get to
matchup.
let's get to my bust ass pick with Brees Hall. That was fun.
Oh yeah, let's Brees Hall versus Josh Jacobs.
This is honestly Josh Jacobs
needing
will have a better pick.
opportunities.
Hey,
Brees Hall needs opportunities.
this guy got 10
What's unfortunate with
targets.
Hall
Brees Hall got
is-
10 targets last game.
Joe Flacco.
Exactly. I was just about
Not
to say that.
valuable targets.
I mean, when Zach Wilson gets back, he might get elevated a little bit more, but it's Joe Flacco.
I haven't looked at these 10 targets on film. I already can get the feeling that they were like, Flacco was about to get hit, and he was like, "Oh, screw this!" And he just take it.
Yeah. Yeah.
What I don't like, he had the fumble and he lost it. I don't like that. So
That's not good with
the
Carter
offensive
right there.
coordinator is probably losing faith a little bit.
Mhm.
I don't like that. They're not going to put him on the goal line because that scares them. They don't want him losing fumbles on the goal line. Definitely don't like that. But I don't know. We'll see.
Josh Jacobs, this guy's like notorious for me. I never want to own Josh Jacobs. Sorry, Leroy. Josh Jacobs is, oh, dude, I had him 1 year, and it was so much of a wild ride. I didn't feel like
He's a
confident
plotter.
at all.
He's just an average running back that's used in the goal line, so he's fantasy relevant that way.
I want to look back at his 2021 stats.
He is playing Arizona, and Arizona's got a terrible defense this year.
He played.
They're pretty depleted.
They didn't play Arizona last year.
I think they're gonna use him a lot more this game.
I hope. He had 5.7 yard average carry, and they only threw to him once, and only gave him 10 carries.
He does not catch the ball.
No.
Never been a catch the ball back.
Damn.
He's your goal line dude, man. He's like first, second down goal line.
That's why they loved having Kenyon
Now-
Drake.
Now, did Mike Williams beat out Cooper Kupp?
No.
See, when we got there, I was gonna say, it's so nice that Mike Williams has 22 points, but really
He did.
needed that. You needed him to do that.
I need
just
I need
keep
Mike
pace with
Williams.
Cup.
But
It's like,
Kupp,
oh yeah, that should feel like a luxury, but it really doesn't when you're staring at Cooper Cup.
'cause
Against
when you look-
Atlanta. Oh
when
no.
it's
Oh,
gonna be
no.
bad. It's gonna be a bad. He's gonna probably go 35.
Oh, I'm gonna say 200 yards and a tutty.
Damn.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, Mike Williams helped me there, but nah, Cooper Kupp's got that. He's
Ow.
different.
You
Yeah,
have
different.
Debo though. You have Debo versus Christian
Yeah.
Kirk, which
Yeah,
Debo's got a
Debo
way
won
higher
that because
ceiling.
Debo, I mean, they were playing in a shitty field,
Oh.
bad conditions weather-wise.
Can't throw the ball down the field, none of that. So this
Yeah.
game's going to be totally
Debo
different.
was better.
Debo just has a way higher ceiling than Christian Kirk does.
I want
Yeah.
to trade for Waddle, but after Waddle's long touchdown last week, I don't want to make the move yet.
Waddle's untouchable. He ain't going nowhere.
Hey,
He ain't
my little
going
Tyreek
nowhere.
Hill light. You stay
I
away
love
from
to
him.
hear that. and I
Tyreek
hate
Hill's
to
getting
hear it
double
all at the
teamed.
same time.
Nah, he doesn't go. Unless Tyreek goes down, Waddle's not going anywhere.
Damn it.
Pitts versus Goddard. Pitts
Goddard
probably
versus
takes
Pitts?
that.
Yeah, Pitts.
Yeah, probably. The Atlanta has
They
no
had
one
a
else to really
terrible
throw the
last
ball
week.
to.
Yeah,
but
Goddard didn't really do.
Atlanta's gonna have to. They're gonna have to throw to Pitts.
I mean, Goddard didn't do too bad. 60 receiving yards. If he had a touchdown, his points would look really good. But that was about it.
It's
60
hard for
receiving.
me to trust Jalen to throw a touchdown to Goddard
Yeah.
a given week because he's got AJ Brown there, he has Devonta Smith there, he's got his legs.
You needed more for Dallas Goddard to perform well and have to lay out. You need more like a Nick Foles where he's more pocket.
Right.
Um,
Not to
for
say
like
that
you
Goddard
said,
might
for
not.
like
I'm sure
Jalen.
Goddard's gonna have 7, 8 touchdowns this year. It's just I feel like it's hard to depend on them when it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's a story for the majority of tight ends.
He's that sneaky like it could happen, but it couldn't either. You know.
Yeah.
Just that.
If he could get 3 touchdowns in a week, we'd be like, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
But like you said though, Jalen
No
likes
one
to
was
run
gonna
out,
happen.
and he's gonna find AJ Brown or Devontae Smith.
Yep.
His legs.
Or his
He's not-
legs.
He's not gonna find Dallas Goddard with his legs. He's gonna find AJ Brown with his legs.
And then we got Jalen Waddle versus Hollywood Brown.
Some speed, kids.
These
Some
are
speed.
awesome
speed.
flexes, I must say. Awesome flexes.
And let's not forget here,
Oh, no.
Leroy has a stack going here.
He does.
Those are always dangerous. If the Arizona Cardinals decide to show up and score 35 points, it's going to be a hard thing to overcome for
Yeah, I
Isaac.
totally forgot Marquise Brown with the Cardinals. I thought he was still with the
Yeah,
Baltimore.
number 1 receiver for the Cardinals.
I totally
Mean
forgot
stack when you're stacking your flex.
On a number 1.
Pretty mean. That's my number 1. Mean.
All right, Leroy knows what he's doing. He is a 3-time champion in this league. Y'all could take.
This will
some
be a
notes.
fun matchup. This really
This'll
will.
be
You
a
two,
good
I don't
one.
really know.
The
It's hard to
defense
call.
is going to come down to it, I think. It's going to come down to these defensive players.
Even those players like the coin flip.
Honestly, I could see my linebacker that Fred
I like Royce a little
Olukun. I could see him getting a fumble recovery for a touchdown.
Pariki?
Are you okay?
I could easily see
Lucan?
Oh, Foye. I'm sorry. I said Fred. It was Foye.
Are you okay?
Olukun.
Lucan.
He's
I
a
see
tackle
him-
machine, bro.
He is.
Like, your defense has 2 tackling machines and Cameron Hayward, who usually gets a sack a game, like average, like somewhere around there. He'll miss a few games of the sack.
Yeah.
And Leroy's got way more sack potential.
Yeah. Bradley
Donald
Chubb,
and
Aaron
Miller.
Donald. Woo.
Yeah.
Von Miller. Yeah.
You have, like, the consistent,
defense.
probably going to score, 8 points a player, and he has the potential for 10, 15 points if people can get multiple sacks. So
Yeah.
at the
It'll
end of
be
the
a
day,
good
I don't.
matchup.
It's
I'm
it's going to be
ready
good,
for it.
yeah.
Ready for it. Ready for it, Chris. I'm ready for it.
Yeah, I really like this matchup. It's actually one of my favorites of the week. So
This is like one of those like first week of the
Matchup
playoff
of the week.
match-
This is the most interesting one to me.
Yeah. It's a
And
good one,
obviously
boys.
outside my own feelings of my game.
Because
But
I can't go 0-2. I have to get a win here. I
you
can't.
both. That's why
with
that's another layer.
Yeah.
Another
Damn.
layer of why this is so interesting. Like, someone's going 0-2. Someone's
Someone-
going off to a rough start.
And someone shouldn't be at 0-2.
And it all depends
Yes, that too.
on motherfucking Carson Wentz or Kyler Murray.
Woohoo!
That's who it all depends on.
Hey, I will
know-
tell you right now, Isaac, if I was you, I wouldn't feel good thinking I have to count on Carson Wentz.
Well, because Cooper Cup's going to score at least a touchdown, probably get over 100
Oh,
yards
man.
receiving. You know that's going to happen.
Just
Aaron,
the-
Aaron Jones is going to get a touchdown. Josh Jacobs probably won't. Kirk probably will. It's the Colts. They probably will. They'll allow it. They'll play fucking weak ass defense. Christian Kirk will probably get a touchdown easily.
He had 117 yards last game on 12 targets.
Yeah. Unless Stephon Gilmore. If Stephon Gilmore is covering him, he's not gonna get shit because he locked down. It's bad when I can't think of a Texans wide receiver, but yet the Colts tied him. Oh,
So I was just looking back through kind of what we were saying about all the matchups. So at the end of week 2, based on what we think is going to happen, Ben's going to be at the bottom of the league, and either Leroy or Isaac are going to be right there at the bottom of the league at 0-2.
you know what the
That's
saddest
wild.
part? Yeah.
It's wild. Our champ and then 2 players we know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah.
But
You
sad.
guys are going to
Okay,
be
in
0-2?
real NFL world, you know what's sad is if the Texans lose and the Titans lose and the Colts lose, the fucking Jacksonville Jaguars are going to be the #1 seed in the AFC South. That
Pretty
is
wild.
depressing. That's a team that had
That
Urban
is
Meyer
depressing.
as a head coach a year ago today. Will be
So,
potentially
you
be
know, in
the
a few
#1 seed.
years, they might look back on the Urban Meyer thing as a blessing of like, hey, we had another year where we were crappy and could build more
Yeah.
younger, better talent.
True. I
Like
don't want
under
this
the
to be.
radar, had a reason to have to tank.
I don't want this to turn into the Colts podcast. So I want to talk
Slowly
about
is
the
with you.
Dolphins. But I selfishly I want to talk about the Colts, but a team that I think in the AFC, if the Dolphins win convincingly tomorrow, they are a team to be watched for.
Oh, they're making
Because
wild card this year.
yeah,
Real.
they definitely are. I mean, they have an explosive offense. It's just going to be you know, if he can play, if he can get that deep ball to Tyreek, watch out.
And
I
that's,
really think they've done a
I
great
think,
job there where they don't have to depend on Tua. He really can
yeah.
just throw these short passes and just let the dudes do their thing.
Hey, he threw a bunch of medium balls and a long ball on the last
And
game.
let the defense take over the game. Like,
Oh yeah, our
we
defense
have
is
one of the
solid.
best defenses in
Dolphins.
the league.
Hmm. That's what I mean. I feel like okay, if the Dolphins could have the perfect game plan every week, it would be defense, give short fields, Tua, don't be forced to throw any long balls, except for maybe 3 or 4, because we want you to stretch the defense, not you're stuck having to do it because it's 3rd and long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it's exactly how they'd want to play all the time.
But I can only imagine, you know, Cruz, you and Chris, like the feeling of absolutely destroying the Patriots week 1 after all of the bullshit you guys had to deal with for like 16 years.
Smash those
That had
Patriots.
to have felt amazing.
I remember, so like every year I've been like, fuck, until Bill Belichick is out, we're fucked. But when
Yeah.
Tom Brady left, I was like, man, I hope it was all Tom Brady. Leroy said, oh fuck Tom
And it
Brady,
and it
fuck
has
Tom
been.
Brady,
Bill.
And it
then,
has been.
and yeah, and that has been a blessing to everybody in the division.
Yeah.
The Bills
Yeah,
are
feel
looking
like-
strong, and the Bills haven't been able to look strong like that for a long time.
It's so good that the evil empire has finally fallen.
Yeah, and
They're finally done.
and
Like
the Jets,
they're always going to be that sneaky, like they might be a wild card. They're not that. Oh fuck, we got to play the Patriots.
So I'm not
Right.
sure that you'll agree with this, Isaac, but I definitely feel this way. I feel like it's a great feeling to me to know that it wasn't a franchise. It was really Tom Brady.
yeah,
It was really a player that
It-
made all this happen. It wasn't some, this is the way we run it, and that's the reason why we're successful, and no other team could do it like us. Like, no.
Yeah.
It was really that you had this quarterback that was always prepared like that, and he
Yeah.
is elite. And I'm sure your system does work a little bit too.
Yeah, well, you know,
You had the
Obviously,
perfect guy.
he
for
did
it.
have playmakers all around him, but why is Mac Jones not making Kendrick Bourne
Right.
a Pro Bowl
Right.
wide
That's
receiver?
Totally
Brady didn't
right.
always have weapons always
yeah,
around him.
He didn't. You know, he had.
He
You know,
still made it work.
he did have Edelman and Randy Moss,
Gronk.
and Aaron Hernandez, Gronk, which any team would love to have a Gronk. I mean, I mean, he's a matchup nightmare for anyone.
True. He is a one of a kind.
But on the same token, though, Brady, I did talk I talked a lot of shit about Brady, and I still think he did that teams he was with. He did get very lucky in certain moments, but he always made the right play at the right time. He was smart with the ball. He didn't take risk when he didn't need to. That's what made him. That's